Yeah, I remember what it was like getting my very first listing, and in this video, I will share with you exactly how I did it. Okay, so I was a brand new agent. This is going back 15 years or so. And I had just quit my full-time job and I was the breadwinner in the family. This is a case of I didn't know what I didn't know. You see, I didn't know that it's common for agents not to get paid for at least 6 months. I didn't know that this was a constant game of hustle. I didn't know that I had to spend most of my time prospecting. I didn't know that I was going to be rejected most of the time. And that was probably a good thing because I didn't know what I didn't know. I just wanted to be an agent and help buyers and sellers. And the thing is, I knew I needed money really fast. I just quit my job and I figured, well, I'll just start being an agent and start making money. And that was my mindset. And that was really the reason why I got my first listing. I knew I needed to get in front of people. I went to my manager and I said, listen, can you connect me with some agents that run open houses? Because I need to talk to people. I need a paycheck. And she says, no problem. She introduced me to a few of them. And every single weekend, I made sure that I had an open house. I kept calling these agents to say, listen, I need an open house Saturday and Sunday. Just give me what you've got. And I always did open houses. And that's how I ended up with my first listing because I knew I had to get in front of people. I was so new, I didn't know what I can and can't ask at an open house. I guess that's the easiest way to say. And so it was my first or second weekend. Literally, that's how quickly it took for me to get my first listing because people would walk into the home and I just figure, well, I would ask them if they need my help. And that's all I did. People would walk in and I would ask them, well, are you looking for a home? Yes, we are. Can I help? And of course, I wanted to know if they had a house to sell. So my next question is, do you have a house to sell? And very quickly, I came across this really nice young couple. And I started a conversation with them. Are you looking for a home? Yes. Do you have a house to sell? Yes. Wow, I had myself potential for the first time. And like I said, I don't know if it was the first or second weekend, but it was very quickly. And I knew I needed to carry on conversation with them beyond the open house. I didn't want them to leave without me at least getting their contact info. So I said, okay, great. Listen, and internet was kind of new. I mean, this is 15 years ago. But one thing I remember is they did not have an email address yet. I know it's kind of crazy to think, what, you don't have an email address? But that's what it was. And I said, well, listen, I know what price range you're looking at. What I could do is send you listings. And they said, well, I don't have an email. And I said, okay, well, where do you live? I'm just going to print off a few listings. I will put them in your mail slot. And because it was still Saturday, I believe, and I said, and you can go look at them if they've got open houses or I can show you. And they said, okay, no problem. So right after the open house, I went back to the office. I printed off all the listings in their price range and I was on my way to their home. I knocked on their door. There was nobody there. And I thought, okay, well, I'll leave it in the mailbox. I started driving away from their home and I noticed they went out for a walk. They had a stroller, they had a newborn, and I stopped and I said, hey, by the way, I just put that in your mailbox. And they looked kind of shocked to see me. And I stopped, I pulled over, I had conversation, and they were really grateful that I did that. And I told them about a few of the listings that I had in there, and I told them that I can take them out, and I was just there for them. I really wanted to help them out. And they said, no problem, we'll give you a shout tomorrow because we're kind of busy for the rest of the day. And I said, hey, great. The next day, they called me and they said, can you come to our home to do an evaluation? I was like, heck yeah, of course I will. And I sat down with them and the truth finally came out. You see, they had already planned to sell their home with another agent. That other agent already came in, but they didn't finalize the listing yet. And I said, well, why are you telling me this? They said, well, obviously because we want to choose you. And I said, well, I'm grateful, but why? Why me? You already have an agent. And this is the key to getting your first listing. It has nothing to do with the how-to, the tactics. The tactics are only worth 20%. The 80% is mental. And that goes with any aspect of life, okay? That's why I'm telling you this story, so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. So I said, why me? And they said, because you're extremely confident and enthusiastic. I didn't give off the impression that I was new. I didn't give off the impression that I had no idea what I was doing. When people were coming into the open house, I figured, well, what's the worst that can happen? And with confidence, I would ask the questions. Are you looking for a home? Can I help you? And it was that secured my first listing. Like I said, not the how-to. I didn't know what I didn't know. But one thing that I had was a lot of confidence. That's how you will actually get your first listing. Because I know what it's like as a new agent. Because I would rather, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, I don't get ready, then aim, then fire. I fire, then I aim, and then I kind of get ready. And that is the quickest way to success in any aspect of life, not just real estate, but any aspect. You fire first, because when you fire, you take action. So I took action, and I continue to take action. And within the first 6 months of me being an agent, I nearly made 6 figures. I was shy, but almost there. I would say it's more confidence than enthusiasm. Because confidence will carry you in life. Because it's how you come across. It's the energy that you exude. Can you imagine if I begged you, can you please list your home with me? I don't know. Like, you see where I'm coming from? This was not a case of fake it till you make it. I am not a fan of faking it until you make it. I was still me. With confidence. I was truthful about absolutely everything, but I was truthful with confidence. No, I've never had a listing before. You're my first, but you know what? I'm giving it everything I've got. They can see that. They knew that. They told me that. They knew, and they can tell that I was going to do whatever it takes to sell that home for them. So just remember, when you're questioning the how-to, what's the right thing to say? What's the first step in doing that? Maybe those aren't the right questions. Because if you do the right things in the right order, but without confidence or enthusiasm, it's just not going to mean anything and you will not get the results. Capiche? Do you understand? Do we understand each other? Confidence, enthusiasm is the only thing you need. I promise you, everything else is secondary. If you don't have that, I don't care how many how-tos you learn. I'm sorry, baby. The end result will not be a positive one. So if you like this message, click like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring that ding-a-ding bell button, and we'll chat tomorrow. Take care.